In 1978, a man stood in front of a crowd in California and said, "You've got to have some hope." At the time, no one knew that this statement was going to be such a big deal and be able to be so meaningful in so many people's lives. But just a few months later, he would be assassinated for this statement. I have been researching Harvey Milk's speech, "You've Got to Have Some Hope," and the human rights movement for people of color, but also LGBTQ community individuals, for a couple weeks now. Because of the current administration and House Bill 261, which limits staff and faculty on college campuses and how they're able to help their students express themselves, this speech is more important than ever. It demonstrates that our voices are stronger together and can change the current state of the world. Milk's speech, "You've Got to Have Some Hope," shows how meaningful social change can only happen by active participation instead of being silent, which is the lesson that gets more important as time goes by. We'll go through pieces of this speech as well as the context behind it and compare his speech to the current social and political climate and why active participation is so important. In 1978, Milk delivered this speech in San Francisco. At the time, LGBTQ rights were under extreme scrutiny and basically non-existent. Milk was the first openly gay elected official in California. He served on the Board of Supervisors at the time. This speech was mainly for the LGBTQ community and their allies, but was also aimed towards all activists and minorities of all minorities. The audience was mainly these activists, but there was also a lot of people who were opposing it. The opposition were people like John Briggs and Anita Bryant, who were advocates for anti-gay legislature. Some of this legislature was Proposition 6, or the Briggs Initiative, which aimed to ban gay teachers from being able to work in Californian schools. The Briggs Initiative ended up not being passed, which was a great win for the LGBTQ community. But just a few months later, Milk was assassinated by Dan White. But his death did add fire and strength to the fight for human rights. Harvey's rejection of silent spectatorship resonates powerfully today as we witness voter suppression, attacks on reproductive rights, family separating immigration policies, and discrimination against LGBTQ individuals. His message remains clear: democracy doesn't survive on the sidelines. It requires each of us to step up and actively participate in shaping our future. The effects of this speech are incredibly important. While I'm not the most outspoken person in the world, his speech has pushed me to be more vocal and be more of an active participant in my local government. Milk could not have anticipated the effects of social media activism or his speech, but these new technological advancements have pushed activism efforts forward in many ways. His speech has been the backbone of these activism efforts for over 40 years. We've looked into his speech and the importance of using your voice and seen how these principles are still applicable today. Harvey Milk had this thing about hope. He'd tell people, "You've got to have some hope." But there's no point in having hope if you're not going to do anything about it. It's what you do with hope that matters. You can sit around hoping things get better, or you can get up off the couch and make them better. That's the real test, isn't it? Not whether you feel hopeful about where things are headed, but whether you're doing something about it. Democracy doesn't have bleacher seats. You're either in the game or you're forfeiting your turn. So what's it going to be? Will you use your voice?